You're listening to Puma Podcast.
Let's play improv. First scenario. You're part of a group at may project kayo. Lahat kayo may iba't ibang ideas ng gusto nyong maging final output nyo. Pati ikaw, meron kang sariling idea. Tapos, hindi kayo magkasundo. Anong sasabihin mo?
Okay, so, hi everyone. Napansin ko, I've been listening, nakikinig ako for the past few minutes, and napansin ko iba-iba ideas natin. Suggestion ko, I have a couple of meta cards here. Gawin natin, let's all write them down, and then we have like 3 minutes to really write down as many ideas as we can. Then after that 3 minutes, let's lagay natin in a row, and then doon natin pag-usapan isa-isa yung idea. Para siguro mas organized tayo. And maybe makapansin natin actually in that moment na may kakapareho pa na ibang ideas natin. Kasi napansin ko may konting similarities tayo sa ideas natin. So let's take the 3 minutes. I'm handing out the meta cards and yung ball pens natin. Sulat muna natin ideas natin tapos balik tayo after 3 minutes. End scene.
Nice! Parang sanay na sanay ka na.
One of the things that we do is facilitation talaga. We're heavy at facilitation. So, important for us is having those interventions. So, I guess, yung sinabi mo, okay, clear na ako ano gagawin ko dito.
Alright. Next scenario. May na-witness kang aksidente sa kalsada. Ikaw yung pinakamalapit dun sa na-aksidente. Pero, malilate ka na sa most important job interview of your life. Anong gagawin mo?
Wow, okay. So ako, lalapit ako, may aksidente. Lapit muna ako. Tapos, I'll get my phone, call 117 if I'm not mistaken, and call for ambulance to come na lumapit para sabihin ko, report that there's an accident. And wait for the ambulance to get there. Wait for authorities to get there. Tapos later on, sa job interview, sabihin ko na, wala, may nangyari. I think core value ko is having a people-centered mindset. And if hindi siya aligned with the company, I don't think it's that important of a job interview pala.
Hi fam! This is Macy Hoven at ito ang Season 2 ng Kasama sa Pagbabago, kung saan kinikilala natin ang mga leader mula sa generation natin. Inaalam natin kung ano nga ba ang pagbabagong sinimulan nila sa kanilang community, particularly in the space of democratic governance. At kung anong naging inspirasyon nila para masabing bilang kabataan ay kasama sila sa pagbabago. Ang Kasama sa Pagbabago ay isang podcast ng Youth Leadership for Democracy o YouthLED, a project of the United States Agency for International Development and the Asia Foundation, powered by Puma Podcast. So, sino tong youth leader na may people-centered mindset?
Hi everyone, my name is Carlo Africa. Pwede niyo ako tawaging AF. AF kasi short for Africa. Or Kuya AF, if nakilala niyo ako sa mga training natin before. And I am currently the Executive Director of Hirayang Kabataan. Hiraya actually means vision or dream. So yung pangarap ng ating kabataan, yung inahangad namin matupad sa Hirayang Kabataan mismo. And what we do is we create spaces that allow for people to increase their civic and political participation.
Speaking of pangarap, si AF yung tipo ng leader na idealistic.
I believe mas vision-oriented talaga ako. So, I try to look into the future to see where we can go in terms of, I guess, the vision that we're looking for. So, hindi ako ganun kagaling mag-implement, at least some people tell me. But what I do believe in is important to create that space where everyone is involved in the decision-making process. So even though I have a vision, my goal is to get people to critique it as much as possible so we can create a shared vision. Whenever I do talks or training, sabi ko, yung goal ko at the end is for people to have hope. Hope na kaya pabaguhin yung Pilipinas, na you can actually change the world.
Nagsimula ang pangarap ni AF maging leader nung 6 years old pa lang siya. Kakaiba ang calling niya.
May weird memory for me na yung ate ko nagbebenta ng yema. Tapos parang gusto ko bumili ng yema kasi may school project siya, nagbebenta siya ng yema pero wala akong pera. I think 5 pesos yata for a pack. Tapos parang ang nangyari, naghanap ako ng 5 pesos sa bahay namin. Tapos may nakita akong parang clear envelope. Nasakita ko, parang clear pa sa akin yung image na nandun yung sunlight, tas parang nagla-light yung 5 pesos. So, habang papunta ko dun, parang slow motion. Nasisip ko na parang, okay, gusto ko kukunin yung 5 pesos. Pero feeling ko, may nagsabi sa akin na hindi yan tama. So feeling ko at that moment, I think that was conscience. But in my mind, when I look back, parang that was really one of the first moments that I felt like there's someone talking to me. God was talking to me. I feel part of it was having conscious decisions na of doing the right thing. And I think that has allowed me to lead as well. Kasi minsan nakatakot mag-lead nakatakot maging leader. But feeling ko, if it's clear na wala nang ibang gagawa or that is what is needed, I feel like I make a conscious decision to take the lead.
Kung yun ang tama, kung yun ang kinakailangan, kung yun ang tawag ng panahon, tatayo si Af bilang leader. At dumating nga ang panahon niya nung college. In 2010, naging project manager siya ng Ateneo Lex, isang org sa Ateneo de Manila University para sa mga legal management majors. Ang hawak niyang project, pag-recruit ng mga bagong member.
I think kami yung one-off, para sabihin ko kami yung nagsimula, mag-change ka ng profile pic na part na ako ngayon of Ateneo Lex. At that time, wala pa masyadong gumagawa noon. Tapos, from that, we got, I think, around 800 members, 856 members, parang ganon, which was the highest ever for Ateneo Lex. So feeling ko, nag-boost talaga confidence ko. Kasi grabe rin yung support ng other Lex members, executive board ng Ateneo Lex. Alala ko, during the end of the year, nag-awards sila ng good project managers or high potential project managers. Nasasama ako doon. So in my mind, okay, they actually believe in me. And okay yung network, okay yung people, mababait sila. So naisip ko, next year, I wanted to run for Human Resources, VP.
At nanalo siya. And later on, became president of the org. Noong 2015, habang nag-aaral sa Ateneo School of Law, nag-volunteer siya sa LENTE, o Legal Network for Truthful Elections, isang election NGO ng mga lawyer at paralegal. Doon nabuksan ang mata niya sa isa sa mga pinakamahalagang realizations sa buhay niya.
Naalala ko sa isang church sa Infanta Quezon, gumawa kami ng voter education activity. Sabang in-explain namin yon, may isang participant, mid-30s siya. Naalala ko pa, naka-red polo shirt siya, tapos brown cargo shorts, nasa naka-chinela siya. So, sobrang vivid sa akin yung memory. Nagtaas siya ng kamay, tapos sabi niya sa akin, Sir, okay naman po yung voter education. Pero sa totoo lang, wala siyang kwenta. Kasi if titingnan niya naman yung balota, pare-pareho lang naman yung tumatakbo. And nag-stick sa akin yung, kaya very vivid, nag-stick sa akin yung memory na yun. Core memory siya sa buhay ko. Kasi, and later on, when I did my thesis sa law school, it was about elections. And I saw na, tama nga yung sasabi ni Kuya. And when I look at the data, from then to now, mas lumala. Kasi dati siguro nasa 75% ng governance natin Polday. Ngayon nasa 80% na.
Polday is short for political dynasty. Ito yung mga magkakapamilyang tumatakbo sa gobyerno.
Kasi nakakatakot doon, sa nakita kong dataset, this was back in 2013, sa mga 75% ng governors na nanalo ng political dynasty, if titignan nyo yung balota back then, it was Paul Dynasty versus Paul Dynasty or Paul Dynasty versus no one. Kaya tama talaga sinabi ni Kuya, pare-pareho lang yung tao sa balota. So, yun talaga nag-spark na we need to be able to have new candidates, so alternative candidates on our ballot. And naisip namin, who better than our young people? Kasi sabi natin palagi, kabataan ng pag-asa, pero in our minds, hindi siya operationalized. Like, wala tayong way to actually prepare young people to take on the role of becoming the future mayors, the future governors, even the future president.
Dito binuo ni Af ang Hirayang Kabataan at ang proyekto nilang Taratakbo, which aims to train young alternative candidates for government. Nakapag-train sila ng 330 aspiring sangguniang kabataan candidates. In 2023, around 200 of them filed for candidacy, at 85 ang nanalo. Ilan sa mga nakasali sa mga training na to ay mula rin sa youth network ng YouthLed. Isa pang proyekto ng Hiraya ang Project Sulo. Nakafocus naman ito sa pag-create ng space kung saan makakapag-participate ang kabataan sa mga gawain ng kanilang local government. Sa batas, merong tinatawag na Local Youth Development Council o LYDC. Bawat city at municipality ay meron ito. Binubuo ito ng representatives ng youth organizations na nakaregister sa kanilang LGU. Gumagawa ang LYDC ng LYDP o Local Youth Development Plan. Ito yung mga pinaplano nilang programs para sa kabataan sa kanilang city o municipality. Sa tulong ng Local Youth Development Officer o LYDO, isasubmit nila ang planong ito sa LGU para i-approve at finally maging ordinansa. Ang problema,
Napansin namin when we did a study na ang baba ng rate ng pagpasa ng local youth development plans across the country. And naging clear for us, at least right now, may dalawa kaming ginagawa. Una, important for us to capacitate. Kailangan gawin natin mas magaling ang ating mga LGUs when it comes to bringing in young people and training them to develop that local youth development plan. So meron kaming capacity building program for ating mga local youth development officers or LYDOs natin because gusto namin matulungan sila in actually developing that environment or space where young people can actually participate as envisioned by our SK Reform Act. Yung second intervention namin was that napansin namin, okay, even if maganda, trained na si LYDO, isang problema na nakita namin, walang nagre-register na youth organizations. At tinanong namin kung bakit. Kasi when we did our FGDs, marami sa mga LGUs natin, hindi pa malinaw yung proseso on how to register as a youth org. Hindi pa malinaw yung proseso on how to elect the local youth development council. So, ang naging proposed intervention namin doon, let's come up with a youth ordinance that targets itong mga gaps na to. So, meron kaming draft ordinance. So, draft ordinance na yun, nakasama yung process on how to elect local youth development councils, pati kasama na yung process on how to register as youth orgs for that locality.
binisita ng Hiraya ang ilang LGUs sa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao noong 2023 at nag-train ng 118 participants from youth orgs, the SK Federation at mga LYDO. They taught them how to work together in consulting different communities and sectors regarding their issues and in crafting an LYDP that would respond to those needs.
And part of that is having learning experience siya. So, isang example nun is, we call it Barangay Bridge. We give them stepping stones, and they have to be able to use the stepping stones to cross from point A to point B. Hindi ko na sabihin paano nila magagawa. Pero, the ultimate goal of the program, of that specific activity module, is for them to understand that everyone has a role to play in reaching your goal. And in this scenario, yung goal natin is the local youth development plan. And it will jump on into a second module on data. It's for them to understand na we have to create evidence-based programming na i-evidence natin yung data natin, which makuha natin when we do yung next program namin na consultations. So kaya tayo may consulting communities module. Yung goal namin is to finish all of those 3 modules in day 1 because in day 2, we do right shopping. Yung goal ng day 2 is really to write the local youth development plan, identify natin issues, ano yung objectives natin, ano yung indicators na successful tayo, pati ano yung plans natin, yung programs and budget. So we write all of that so that we present it in the next day. We invite the mayor so that they can present it to the mayor. So that on the spot, the mayor can say, agree ako dito, hindi ako agree dito, or you can reconsider this. Kasi they are, in essence, pitching to the government, to the LGU, this local youth development plan. So gusto namin to simulate that process kasi gagawin na naman talaga dapat nila later on. Meron kami mga nagawang training na napitch nila kay mayor, tapos yun na yung naging napasang LYDP. Kasi yung data na nakuha nila ang lalim na. We actually asked them to do pre-work already. So, if malalim na yung data and mukhang agree na si mayor, yun yung ultimately napapasabi ang LYDP mismo. Yung alam ko sa Gubat Sorsogon, yung ginawa namin, this was really one of the first pilot areas. Yung ginawa namin LYDP, yung understanding ko, sila na yung LYDP ngayon ng Gubat mismo. And I think sa Odyongan, I think may konting revisions pa, pero they use the same process and the same, I think even the same data points, same programs for some of them. Odyongan Romblon naman to.
Maliban sa city municipality level, tinatrain din ng Hiraya ang mga youth development officer sa provincial at national level. Sa tulong ng youth-led, partner LGUs at National Youth Commission, nabago nila ang pananaw ng mga officers sa halaga ng LYDP.
I think yung biggest impact was the shift From before, hindi nila prioritize yung capacity building and actual passage of LYDP. Afterwards, naging advocate na iba sa kanila Like isang kwento sa amin, we did a training in Carcar City sa Cebu. Tapos sobrang nagustuhan ng Laido doon. Nirefer niya kami sa Santander. Sa Santander, Cebu rin. Tapos sumama pa siya during the training sa Santander to be able to do the training with us. So naging advocate na rin talaga siya of training Laidos and training LYDCs. So I think yun yung strong. Because if you have that shift in attitude and behavior ng ating mga space holders, yung belief namin is they can now create the space na conducive for the people going to the space, which in this example is our young people. So yun nga, the hope is we see more of the local youth development plans approved moving forward.
Marami pang grand plan si Af para sa Project Sulo at Hiraya. At marami pa siyang haharaping pagsubok in his dream to change Philippine politics. But what keeps him going is the people he trains.
Kasi sila inspired rin Grabe rin yung belief nila na parang, okay, gusto ko talaga maging lead. Gusto ko talaga kalaban yung Paul Diocese sa amin. Gusto ko talaga, to become a good SK chairperson. Gusto ko maging barangay. Gusto ko ayusin yung problema namin dito. Kasi ang daya na Hindi na makatulungan yung nangyari sa amin dito So, hearing those words, seeing the conviction in their faces and their voices, that gives me hope. Kasi feeling ko na, okay, kaya talaga to. Like, meron akong 20-year plan when it comes to trying to change the Philippines. And I really believe that it's possible. Now, within 20 years, we'll have a better country because there are young people already today moving in their own communities, wanting to push for that change. Yung role ko lang naman, role namin as Hiraya is to facilitate, to create that space that allows them to fulfill the saying na kabataan ng pag-asa ng Pilipinas. It just takes one person to push, but when you push forward, you have to be with people, together with the community. Then you push together. Doon kaya gumawa ng pagbabago.
One more question, Af. Balik tayo sa improv. So, ito yung scenario. May lumapit sa'yo na SK leader at humingi ng advice kasi pagod na raw siyang mag-continue with being a youth leader. Anong sasabihin mo sa kanya?
First question ko, bakit ka tumakbo in the SK in the first place? Kasi maraming SK tumakbo before, hindi malinaw kung bakit sila tumakbo bilang SK. Kung hindi yung malinaw back then, mahirapan ka talaga maghanap ng reason kung bakit ka mag-continue ngayon. So yung suggestion ko sa'yo, let's find the reason why. Look through your journey, your personal leadership journey. What were the moments wherein you were happiest? Moments that you were saddest? Who were the people that helped you along the way? And ano yung mga crucial decision points in your life? Look through that journey, and you'll understand if the SK is really the place for you or not. And if clear na sa'yo why SK is an experience you have to go through to move forward to your next experience, then alam mo na ba't mo kailangan mag-continue. Or alam mo na kung bakit hindi mo kailangan mag-continue. But in either way, continue with the people around you, continue with making those tough decisions, and continue with knowing the things that make you sad or things na feeling mo nahihirapan ka, and continue with the things that makes you flourish. Because if you go through that process, feeling ko no matter where you go, you'll be where you're supposed to be.
Yan si Carlo Africa, isang youth leader who believes that a better Philippines is still possible basta magkakasama tayong mag-push para dito. Ikaw, may naiisip ka bang proyekto na makakatulong sa iyong komunidad? Sana na-encourage kayo na maging kasama rin sa pagbabago sa inyong communities, sa maliliit man o malalaking mga hakbang. Just like AF. Kasama sa Pagbabago is a podcast of Youth Leadership for Democracy o YouthLed, a project of the United States Agency for International Development and the Asia Foundation, powered by Puma Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Macy Haven. This episode was produced by me with editorial assistance by Reynald Ramirez. It was edited by Mark Casillan. Follow Kasama sa Pagbabago on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you listen. And if you enjoyed this podcast, share nyo naman. Bye!